There is a mystery that spans cultures, religions, and eras, a silent power guarded in temples, whispered by sages, and practiced in solitude by those who seek beyond illusion. This mystery is neither a word nor an idea. It's a breath, a way of breathing that, when done consciously, can open hidden doors within you, raise your vibrational frequency, and reveal dimensions invisible to the naked eye. Have you ever felt like you weren't truly alive despite breathing constantly? Have you experienced moments when something inside you feels stagnant, as if your energy isn't flowing naturally? The ancients knew that the cause of many of our tensions, emotional blockages, and spiritual confusions lies not externally, but in the way our prana, our life energy, flows or doesn't flow. And they discovered a key to unlocking this flow: Nadi Shodhana, the breath that cleanses the body's subtle channels. This video is an in-depth exploration of this ancient technique. We'll unravel not only how it's practiced, but also why it has the power to completely shift our vibrational state. We'll discuss the nadis, those invisible channels through which your life energy circulates, the original meaning of this practice in the classical yoga system, and the higher purpose for which it was developed, to prepare the practitioner for deep states of meditation and ultimately samadhi. You'll also discover how this type of breathing can free your mind from repetitive patterns, harmonize your nervous system, relieve anxiety, and act as a bridge between the earthly and the divine. But beyond its physical and mental benefits, Nadi Shodhana is an alchemical ritual, a spiritual art of inner refinement. This way of breathing not only oxygenates the body but also nourishes the soul. So, if you are ready to leave the shallow breathing of the modern world behind and enter the sacred rhythm that connects your being with the cosmos, stay with me. What you wish to learn is no longer a technique. It is a heritage, a tool for awakening, a path that, if pursued with devotion, can lead you to the highest possible vibration, that of pure consciousness. To understand the true meaning of Nadi Shodhana, one must journey beyond time into the deepest depths of humanity's spiritual history. High in the Himalayas, where snow and sky merge and silence reigns, the ancient rishis, wise seers of ancient India, dedicated their lives to observing the soul through the body. They studied humans not as physical mechanisms, but as living temples of energy, crisscrossed by invisible channels, the nadis. Even the oldest Vedic texts, such as the Upanishads and the treatises of the Jata Yoga Pradipika, mention these subtle channels as pathways through which prana, the life force, flows. According to this view, the body is not simply made of flesh and bones, but of an energetic structure that breathes, pulsates, and is illuminated from within. And just as rivers can be contaminated or diverted, the nadis can also be blocked by repressed emotions, chaotic thoughts, and habits that are not in alignment with the soul. Nadi Shodhana, which literally means cleansing of the channels, evolved as a precise and sacred tool for purifying these inner flows. It was not a secondary practice, but an essential preparation for the highest states of yoga, especially samadhi, the absorption of individual consciousness into universal consciousness. For ancient yogis, meditation without prior purification of the nadis was like trying to see the reflection of the moon in a murky pond. It wasn't just about being still, but about being innerly clear. Only with this energetic purity could the meditator calm his mind, dissolve the ego, and experience the ultimate truth. The scriptures also spoke of three main nadis: Ida, Pingla, and Sushumna. Ida, the lunar current, represents the feminine, the intuitive, and the passive. Pingla, the solar current, embodies the masculine, the rational, and the active. Both wind along the spine and intersect at each chakra, creating an energetic dance. But it is Sushumna, the central channel, that leads to awakening. It is only activated when the other two currents are in balance. This is where Nadi Shodhana comes into play. It harmonizes the flow between the sun and the moon, thus enabling the opening of the soul's central axis. From that moment on, every conscious inhalation and exhalation was a sacred act. Every breath was a prayer, and every exercise a reminder that divinity lies not in a distant temple, but in the harmony that flows in and out of your body at every moment. In modern times, this practice has been watered down and often reduced to a relaxation technique. Yet its origin is mystical. its function transcendental, and its power immense. Nadi Shodhana not only calms the mind, it tunes it like an instrument that can hear the music of the universe. Imagine for a moment that your body is not just a collection of organs or a structure of muscles and bones, but a luminous network of pathways through which flows a subtle, invisible, yet powerful substance, prana. This life energy, thinner than air and more important than blood, keeps our thoughts, feelings, and consciousness alive. The ancient yogis not only knew this energy, they cultivated, guided, and revered it. One of the most direct methods of purifying it and strengthening its flow was Nadi Shodhana. This technique, known in Spanish as alternate nostril breathing, is not arbitrary. Every part of your practice is designed like a precise key that fits the lock of your energy system. And what is this lock? Your nadis. As we have seen, the most important ones are Ida, Pingala, and Sushumna. The balance between the first two channels, the lunar and solar, enables the activation of the third, the central channel, leading to expanded states of consciousness. The basic structure of Nadi Shodhana is simple, but its power lies in the intention, rhythm, and awareness with which it is performed. 1. Close the right nostril and inhale through the left. This activates Ida, which is associated with the parasympathetic system, calmness, introspection, and lunar energy. 2. Close the left nostril and exhale through the right. This activates Pingala, which is associated with the sympathetic system, action, logic, and solar energy. 3. Then reverse the process. Inhale through the right and exhale through the left. This completes the cycle. This back and forth of relief creates a dance between two inner polarities, and this dance, as with any sacred act, creates harmony, purification, and openness. But herein lies the true secret. When Ida and Pingala balance each other, they cease to be opposing paths. They merge, neutralize each other, and then silence arises. Not an empty silence, but a silence filled with pure awareness. At this point, prana can enter and rise through your shumna, the central channel along your spine. This energetic ascension is the prelude to awakening, the first step toward union with the divine. It's not simply about moving air from one nostril to the other. You are reprogramming your energy field and removing the subtle distortions accumulated by years of unresolved emotions, chaotic thoughts, and unconscious breathing. Each Nadi Shodhana cycle is like a purifying pulse, a wave that flows through your nadis, releasing invisible blockages called granthis that impede the free flow of prana. While not the primary focus of this tradition, from a neurophysiological perspective, the practice regulates the autonomic nervous system, reduces stress, and synchronizes the brain hemispheres, which science suggests is a side effect. For the game, it's a prerequisite for opening inner perception, because when the mind is silent, the soul speaks. Nadi Shodhana should therefore not be rushed or performed as an empty routine. It should become a ritual, a moment in which you realize that your breath is not entirely yours but is on loan from the universe. By consciously returning it, you begin to tune your body as a sacred instrument, resonating with higher, purer, and truer frequencies. On the surface, Nadi Shodhana may seem like a simple technique, inhale, exhale, alternate, but those who observe carefully and, above all, reverently soon discover that this flow of breath contains hidden layers, like the growth rings of an ancient tree. As your practice deepens, a deeper understanding develops. We don't breathe air, we breathe consciousness. One of the most important and least understood aspects of this practice is that it aims not only at relaxation but also at the vibrational purification of the entire being. Each breath cycle creates a resonance in your energy field. It's not just an exercise to calm the mind. It's a reorganization of the vibrational pattern that sustains your identity. Just as an instrument tuner tunes a clavichord until it finds the exact pitch, Nadi Shodhana adjusts the invisible threads that connect body, mind, and spirit. Ancient tantric traditions taught that everything in the universe pulsates at a frequency. The heart, the planets, thoughts, even silence. Every thought you entertain changes your frequency. Every emotion, every unspoken word, every unhealed wound. Everything imprints itself as a vibration in the nadis and disrupts the natural flow of prana. That's why great yogis didn't just breathe consciously. They breathed with the intention of liberation. Here, Nadi Shodhana becomes an alchemical tool. The process involves not only balancing Ida and Pingla, but also cleansing the granthis, those energetic nodes that form along the spine and prevent the ascent of prana to higher states of consciousness. These blockages are not physical, but psycho-emotional in nature. Attachments, fears, traumas, and obsessive desires. When you breathe with devotion, presence, and surrender, prana acts like a healing river, sweeping away these impurities and dissolving them. Another profound aspect of this practice is its effect on the mind. Yoga teaches that the mind follows prana like a snake follows its charmer. When prana flows chaotically, the mind becomes scattered. However, when prana is channeled, focused, and rhythmic, the mind calms. And in this stillness, something extraordinary is revealed. The eternal witness, the consciousness that observes without judgment, without desire, without fear. This consciousness is called Yoga Purusha, the unchanging being that remains beyond body and mind. Nadi Shodhana is not just a technique for feeling good. It is a way to get closer to the true core of your being, the point of calm at the center of the Torbellino, a place undisturbed by the noise of the world. Finally, this practice also has a mystical quality. Many masters have taught that when one masters Nadi Shodhana, one can hear the nothingness, the inner sound, the murmur of the universe in one's heart. It's as if the body, vibrating in harmony, becomes an instrument for perceiving the sacred, not with the physical ears, but with the expanded perception that only arises when one pierces the veil of ordinary breathing. And ultimately, Nadi Shodhana is not something one does. It's something you become, a clear channel, a bridge between the visible and invisible worlds, a flute through which divine relief can finally flow. Practicing Nadi Shodhana does not mean retreating to a Himalayan cave or leading an ascetic life far removed from the world. Quite the opposite. This ancient technique is precisely designed to anchor spirituality in everyday life. For the true mystic is not someone who escapes the world, but someone who walks within it with presence, awareness, and inner strength. Here are some practical and profound keys to help you integrate Nadi Shodhana as a true experiential art. First, create your breathing retreat. It doesn't have to be a temple, but rather a place you worship. This could be a hallway in your living room, a burning candle, or even a tree you can sit under. The place is not as important as the intention to consecrate it. By creating a small inner and outer altar for your practice, you tell your mind and soul, this is where the sacred begins. Breathing in this place transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary. Second, the most beautiful moment between the worlds. The saints taught that there are two particularly powerful moments for Nadi Shodhana: dawn and dusk. As the sun rises or sets, the veil between the worlds thins. In these subtle hours, as the day draws to a close or dawns, prana is most receptive. Practicing in these moments promotes greater spiritual depth and energetic openness. Third, breathe without goals, but with devotion. In the West, we tend to view breathing as a tool with a specific purpose, to reduce anxiety, improve concentration, or sleep better. But Nadi Shodhana is not a productivity technique. It's a silent prayer to the universe. Practice it not to achieve something, but as an act of love for your inner self. In this undemanding surrender, prana responds with grace. Fourth, less is more, but consistency is everything. You don't have to practice for hours. Just 5 to 10 minutes a day, but with full presence is enough. It's better to breathe devotedly for 7 minutes than to breathe like an automaton for 30 minutes. The secret lies in frequency, not duration. Like a drop falling repeatedly on a stone, daily practice combats your subtle system without you even realizing it. Until one day you simply wake up differently. Fifth, use your breathing as a mirror. Notice which side of your nose is more active at different times of day. You'll see this change naturally every 90 to 120 minutes. This phenomenon is related to the dominance of Ida and Pingla. By being aware of this, you can read your own energy cycles. This allows you to align your decisions, actions, and rest with your inner flow. In short, Nadi Shodhana isn't just a technique for when you're feeling down. It's a subtle discipline for when you want to remember who you are. It offers you the opportunity to be in this world without getting lost in it. Breathing is not just for survival, but for awakening. By the end of this journey, you may already understand. Nadi Shodhana is more than just a breathing technique. It is an ancient language, a key that opens inner portals. A silent call to your purest nature. It needs no words, no creeds, no dogmas. All it needs is your presence and your relief. Modern man has learned to breathe to survive, but he has forgotten how to breathe to live purposefully. Amidst noise, stress, constant stimuli, and spiritual isolation, the practice of Nadi Shodhana rises like a pillar of light, a simple yet sacred tool for returning home to the temple of the body, the sanctuary of a clear mind and a heart vibrating at its highest frequency. This alternate breathing, inhaling through one nostril, exhaling through the other, symbolizes far more than just physical balance. It represents the dance of opposites, sun and moon, masculine and feminine, action and introspection, the outer world and the inner universe. With each cycle of conscious breathing, you reintegrate polarities, close inner gaps, and make peace with your duality. And when this connection becomes permanent, something wonderful happens. The central channel, the Shumna, begins to activate, not as a loud event, but as a subtle stream of clarity, stillness, and connection with the eternal. What were once chaotic thoughts, overflowing emotions, and trapped tensions dissolve like snow in the sun, leaving behind the essence. You in your highest form. You in tune with the pulse of the universe. You don't have to be a Himalayan sage or ascended master. You just have to pause, close your eyes, and let the mystery of prana flow through you, because it's already within you, because the temple has always been open and waiting for you. I now invite you to make Nadi Shodhana a part of your daily ritual as a sign of humility and strength. Try it for 7 days, 7 chords, 7 conscious breaths. Don't expect results. Just be there. Just listen. And if at the end of this time something has changed within you, even if it's just a hint of peace, a moment of inner stillness, or a tear that flowed for no reason, you know that you've begun to remember, that you are not alone, that your soul has been calling you from the beginning. Breathe, and breathe again, because every time you do it consciously, you come one step closer to the source of everything. If this message resonated with you, subscribe to the channel for more content on esoteric wisdom and transformative practices. Like this video, share it with someone who needs it, and leave a comment about your experience with this sacred breath.